Good evening, everyone. I hope that you all have had an amazing day. Today is December 11th. The time is 7:25, and I'm just going to do a quick check-in on where we are in the market. All right. So, yesterday we did an overview for the United States dollar versus the Canadian dollar, and you can go back and check out that video. But overall, I am looking for UCAD to continue to sell. But I did mention something very important yesterday about how price needs to come up to continue to go down. So this line here designates relatively, old highs, where at these old highs, where we see these wicks, there is resting liquidity. And liquidity is like that fuel that is needed to be placed in a car to make it move, make it go. All right. So I'm on the 1 hour time frame because we did our higher time frame analysis yesterday. And once again, we're looking for sales. So right now on a Monday, didn't take any trades because I'm still waiting for the market to show me what it wants to do because I am reacting. I am not predicting. All right. So I am going to identify just some things that continue to support my thoughts on this sale. And I see some relatively equal lows here. So this is some major liquidity where price moved during this hour. It shot down and it came back up. And I would like to see price continue to grab this liquidity. Now, when it does, I'm not sure. Definitely not sure. But I just want to be ready when it is. All right. All right. So for the past couple of days, price on UCAD has just kind of been bouncing around. And not really giving a specific direction, just going up, back and forth, back and forth. I'm not comfortable with taking any trades at this time, even though it technically is Tuesday in the market. But let's just identify some key terms for the things that we see on this chart, right? So when price is ranging and it does not have a specific direction, it is called consolidation, right? So let me go take a step back. There are four different market conditions, four very specific market conditions. These are the only market conditions. They do have some other names that people use interchangeably with them. You'll hear me say them as well, and I'll be sure to point out that comparison or the interchanging of those words. But for purposes of what we're working on today and just in general, market conditions. There are four. So first is going to be consolidation. Consolidation is when the market is ranging. There isn't a specific direction. No specific direction yet, right? Because the market is always doing something, even if we don't know what it's doing. Next, there will be expansion. And expansion usually comes when there is a sharp move, either going up for a buy or down for a sell. Thirdly, and these are also not in any particular order. So let me be clear with that. They're not in any particular order, but the market you would like to start your trading journey for the day, or however that goes. If you trade once a month, once a week, however, whatever your duration of time is, you also always want to find where was price most recently consolidating, right? And so from consolidation, it will either expand, price will retrace, and it's very possible that price will reverse. Now, what we're looking for, honestly, is from consolidation to expansion. And then from expansion, we could get either continued consolidation or retracement or reversal. All right. And then there are certain market cycles that, we'll continue to talk about on this journey. But right now, I don't want to overwhelm anyone. So these are the four market conditions, period. All right. So during consolidation, there is engineering of liquidity. So because price doesn't know where it wants to go, it is chopping up buyers and sellers in the market, people like you and I. So big banks, institutional trading, hedge funds, all of that. Of course, they are controlling the markets. I know it sounds bad, but that's the name of the game. You just have to make sure that you don't get caught um, in that liquidity and get chopped up. So here's a chop. We don't know where price is going. What I would like to see is for price. We have that. I'm going to erase it now because I need this space. All right. So actually, I'm going to move it over here. So what we're looking for, I'm going to go down to the 15-minute time frame. I'm looking for price to expand in either direction out of this range. So I'm going to place a box right here, and I'm going to call it a dealing range. That's the name of it. It's a dealing range. So you don't really know that you have a dealing range until price literally decides, hey, I am ready to come out of either of these directions. And when I say consolidation going into expansion, I know that price is ready to expand when it is coming out of the range of this box. So for this example, price would either come up here and then go down, or price would come here and go down, go back up, buy back up. It would sell down first or buy back up. Don't know when it's going to happen, but I do want to see it come outside of this orange box, okay? All right, so let's just keep that orange box in mind. For today's delivery on price, we did not get that. Now, I know that I wanted to see price, delete this for you all. I know that I personally wanted to see price go up and then come down, but it didn't quite get to where I needed it to be. So I'm going to sit on my hands and I'm going to wait. Right now, price is ranging. It's still in that consolidation phase where it is accumulating, which is another term that's used interchangeably in various stages, also being called the engineering of liquidity, where it's chopping up sellers and buyers in the market. Next, we are looking for some type of expansion. Now, what I like to do when looking for that move in the market, I'm paying attention to news as well as price action. So tomorrow, we have GBP news, which we're going to go to the Great British Pound after I finish reviewing this. Then we have United States dollar news at 6 a.m. Then we have some red folder news at 8:30 a.m. So red folder is going to have some major impacts. Actually, all color folders have major impacts. I've seen the markets go crazy even for yellow, which is lower impact. So it's something to keep in mind. I personally have my alerts set every 30 minutes starting at 7 o'clock because I don't get on the charts until about 8 before because I just want to see what the market could potentially be giving. All right. So keep that in mind as we move forward. Have a little bit of a buy, like I said, and then we have that sell. So what I would like to see for today is for these relatively equal lows, this liquidity resting these sell stops to be taken out. But there's also something else that I did see. And I'll go down to the 5-minute. So today there was an order block from price, a bullish order block, which I'll discuss a bullish order block later. But an order block, in this case, the bullish order block would be this last red candle before the expansion or the move on the buy side going up. So this candle right here, and that's where I'm showing this box that's orange, but I am going to change the color. It's a 15-minute order block. That's OB. And then price moved away from it. Then again today at 10:05 a.m. during New York session, price came back to this area and then it went ahead and it bought again. So price bouncing off of this OB twice is telling me that maybe I will get that buy on the buy on the buy side tomorrow during news in order for price to engineer itself back down, right? So I have my OB, but then I see a breaker, and a breaker we'll discuss as we continue to go on this journey. But basically, the breaker is since we're looking for a buy only short term, only within this this little range right here, between here and there, we're only looking for a buy. But right here where this up close candle is, which is blue, where it's shown right here by this shadow box, that will now be turning green. That breaker is showing where price technically broke market structure. So market structure is the break right here. Once price went over this wick right here, this highest wick out of these three, 1, 2, 3. Once price went above this wick, it broke market structure. So that's literally the breaker, right? So I like to identify it by just the body, because wicks and liquidity can change depending on the broker. Going to delete that for now. And then we saw throughout the day, price came back during lunchtime and it came to that breaker and it bought up a little bit more. Then it came down after lunch, which there is usually a move at 2 o'clock, between 2 and 3. Especially, ICT traders, smart money traders. If you know, you know. We'll talk about that along this journey as well. Price did a little bit of bouncing around in that same area. Then it consolidated as the market closed for the day at 5 p.m. So I'm going to keep this breaker right here just as something to identify and keep in mind. And we'll see what price gives us later on tomorrow. All right. Something else that I did not mention, and I'm just going to keep in mind here. I don't want to mark up the chart too much for it to be confusing, especially as we are taking this journey together and learning. But I do like to identify the opening price for the market on Sunday, which I did not do yesterday. And I would like to go ahead and draw it all the way out till Sunday opening price. I'll draw it all the way out. Excuse me for moving so quickly. Out until Friday. So this is important to keep in mind as well. And I like to use Sunday's opening price because it helps me to identify where liquidity likes to bounce around to. I won't say support and resistance because I'm not a retail trader, but price does like to go back to where the week opened. There does show a certain level of volume in those levels. And for this week, that level is 1.35892. So let's just keep that in mind and continue to look and see what price decides to do as we continue on throughout the week. All right, so that last snapshot for the Canadian dollar. Now let's get into GU. All right, so for GU, I would like to see the opposite because yesterday we did talk about how GU and UCAD are technically negative correlating. So we'll see how that plays out for the week. I would like to see price come down. Go back to the 1 hour. I would like to see price come down and visit these relatively equal lows where sell side liquidity, sell stops are hiding, as well as right here. And then if you see these clocks, I have alerts set so that when price does come there, I'm ready for whatever happens next. Of course, then I'll go down to a lower time frame and identify my entry model, whichever one is appropriate for, whatever the market decides to give me. All right. So here, let's go to a 15 minutes so I can make this a little bit easier for us to see. We do have price. Price is not technically ranging. We do see a lot of action that is displacing downward on the sell side. When I say displacement, we have these large candles, these long candles with a lot of volume on the inside. Here, and then we do see some on the upside here as well. There was a lot of movement on Friday, of course, as you know, that was NFP. And then today it was a little bit quieter. So price really didn't give me any direction. I wasn't feeling comfortable with taking any particular trades, not only because it was Monday, but because I literally don't see anything in here for me to take. However, I do want to recognize, once again, these relatively equal lows. Price did come and create some relatively equal highs here during Asian session, which is occurring right now, and into London as well. Came in, liquidity was taken out on those relatively equal highs, and price continued to do its thing throughout the day. So to me, I'll say that this is giving consolidation here where we are now, and I'm just waiting for an expansive move tomorrow with news, which we already kind of went over earlier today. So that's all that I have for those two at this very moment. And you know what? Let's take a look at EU. UCAD and GU are my babies, so I really just focus on them. I'm not seeing anything that I like right here, but I do see some relatively equal highs here. The market just basically chopped up really good today during London session, which my personal trading time would be during the New York session. And I don't see anything but chop right here. But going to a higher time frame, price is in an overall downtrend. And this is exactly what I mean about negatively correlating pairs. Even though price is in a downtrend and UCAD is also in a downtrend on the 4 hour and the daily, looking here on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, but looking on the daily, price is going up. So we see that there is a large fair value gap right here between that red wick right here and then this. Make that a little bit lighter. Don't want to confuse anyone. All right, so where price is right now, it is literally in this fair value gap. Now, what I also could do is draw a fib from here, from this beginning of the range to the end of this range right here, and see in this sweet spot where I have 78.6 retracement. Price is definitely in the area of a premium. A discount where I would like to see it buy below this 50%, right? So when you go and look at your charts for the upcoming days, keep that in mind as well. So we have price at a discount, we have price at closing up a fair value gap, and everything is really leading for it to go up, just like GU. Okay, so keep that in mind. Price is consolidating for the time being. We're looking for that expansion, and then after that expansion, price will either continue to consolidate, it will retrace, or it will reverse. And that's going to possibly happen around that Wednesday, Thursday, where we have that high impact news. And that's all I have for today, guys. So I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. It's kind of like showing my journey, what it is that I've learned, and how it is that I trade on a regular basis. Definitely being consistent as far as showing up to the charts, even if the charts and price doesn't have anything to give me. We are going to show up because literally the name as a resilient trader identifies how my experience has gone with trading. But I won't get into that today. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I'll be doing these more often. Thank you all so much for tuning in.